All right. Let me find a good spot to put this real quick. Let me just kind of shrink myself down, and then I'll throw myself kind of over here to the very right of the screen in order to try to get you guys so you can see as much of the screen as possible because I really don't think you care to see me that much right now. This is your guys' virtual lab. You should have access to this website. If you don't, you need to click on it and you need to send me an email and tell me why you do not have access to it so we can figure it out and we can problem solve it together. The important part of this lab is going to be to go and read the procedure. Remember, when we talked about the scientific method, we talked about how there has to be a procedure that you can follow. It is going to be very, very, very important that you read through this procedure 100% because it tells you to do things at certain times. Well, not certain times, on certain steps. It tells you to do things. For some of them, you will have to go to the second page. The first page is really nothing more than just the procedures. Once you get to the second page of your assignment, which looks like this right here, I understand it's backwards, but once you get to that page, then you can start filling in your data table. That's where your data table is at. So when it tells you to record the type of organisms in the data table, you're going to come right here where it says organisms present, and you are going to write down those organisms in that level. How we use this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys real quick how we can use this. We know that the bottom is producers down here. So we're going to put anything that's a producer, which is really just going to be our plants. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to drag these down here. Now, if I put a berry bush up here and I hit check, notice how it bounces the berry bush back, but it leaves these down here to where you really can't do a whole lot with them anymore. Okay, so we're going to throw all of these down here. Bum, bum, bum. Apparently it's not wanting to work. Gotta love technology, right? Come on. Come on. Get down there. Okay, now we put all of our primary producers. Now you guys can kind of work from there. You have to be able to place all these before you can really do anything else. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the rest of the assignment. So it says click and drag the various organisms to the correct locations. We did all that. It says record the type of organisms in the data table. So over here, it's going to say deciduous forest organisms present. You need to write which ones are present where. This is how I'm going to know that you did this activity. And then it's going to tell us numbers. So you're going to add up these numbers at the bottom, actually. So that will actually be, give me 1 second while I pause this, and then I'm going to place everything else on here and we'll move from there. Okay, so now we have placed all of our organisms. We're going to make this pyramid of numbers. That's what it says to do next. So notice how I click on it and it gives us numbers. There are 7,996 organisms in the producers, while there is only 50 organisms in our third order heterotrophs, which was our hawks and our wolves. So you're going to write that on your data table. So on your data table, where it says numbers, you're going to write down the number of organisms for each one. Notice how it says numbers. That's what will go right there. So for first order, or for producers in our deciduous forest, I understand this is backwards and that's not ideal right now, but we're going to keep going. You're going to write 7,996. Okay, I'll put this right here, right next to me, so it's easier. Okay, so once you've done all that for all of your organisms, please go ahead and just pause this video right now. Please do this as we're going through it together because you have to do all 5 of these. There are 5 of them. We're doing one of them kind of together. You still have 4 more you have to complete. So make sure that you are following along. Now we need to click on pyramid of energy. And this is procedure step 6. Clicking on the pyramid of energy will review how much energy is available at each trophic level. Record this information in the data table. So now it tells us what the energy is. We have 6,011 energy for producers, 623 for our first order heterotrophs, 61 for our second order heterotrophs, and 6 for our third level heterotrophs. If you watch the video for today, going through the notes, you know that we are following something called the 10% law. And I said that the 10% law wasn't 10% exactly. It is more of an approximation and an average. So on average, 10% will be lost at each trophic level. Now, to determine the amount of energy that is transferred from one trophic level to the next, this is called the energy conversion efficiency, or ECE. This is procedure step 7, so please be following along right there. This value is determined by taking the energy value from a higher trophic level and dividing it by the energy value of the level below it. It says see table 2 for an example. So if we go to table 2, let me find table 2. I do not know what it means by table 2, but you are going. Apparently, I did not print table 2 for you guys. So all you're going to do is just follow those directions right there. Record this information in the data table once again. When you are completely finished, we're on procedure step 8 now. When you are completely finished analyzing the ecosystem, you can then click the reset button and select another type of ecosystem from the pull down menu. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down here, hit reset, and then we're going to move to our hot desert system. Notice how there's less organisms to place in this one. This one there's less. This one there's a lot less. And this one there's less as well. So we did the longest one together as a class. If you're having trouble placing the organisms, let's say you're down here in our hot desert ecosystem and you hit the field guide down in the bottom, it is actually going to pull up this here field guide. Now notice how this says deciduous forest ecosystem. We're in our hot desert ecosystem now. Please click on the arrow. Okay, it's acting like it wants to go. It's not wanting to go. I know it'll work for you guys. It's because I'm using this program that is casting my screen right now. Make sure that you're completing this. Once you get to the questions, the easiest way to do this is going to be to highlight them. So there are some multiple choice questions. Highlight the answer that you want. Then you're going to move on to the writing exercise. There's actually going to be less of them on your paper than on here because this was the master copy. I took questions out for you guys, so you should, thanks, Mr. Disney, for not making us do an excessive amount of work today like you did with that ecological, what's it called? That ecological web quest that I made you guys do. But that's all that I have for you guys today for this assignment. Make sure that you complete it. If you are having trouble, please reach out and let me know so I'm able to help you and we can work something out and we can go from there. Have a great day, y'all.